If at first you don't succeed, try again. Hi folks, I'm Craig Taylor, and as always, a huge thanks for joining me here on my YouTube channel, the Bushcraft Padawan. If you're already a subscriber, a massive thank you. If you're not yet a subscriber, why not click on that subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen right now and see what happens. Quite a few months ago now, I came out into the woods to try my hand for the first time at using lime on lime to affect fire by friction, particularly using the bow drill method. I failed. I more recently came out with the same bow drill set and the same piece of lime, fashioned a new piece and tried it again just a couple of weeks ago. I also failed. I recorded both of those and put them online in a video such as this, and the more recent one attracted loads of comments, loads of people giving me some hints and tips and suggestions for things that I could do differently. It was a really good example of how online platforms, social platforms such as YouTube can be used to help people learn and to develop and to grow. I received all sorts of comments and suggestions. Longer bow, shorter bow, thicker half board, thinner half board, dead wood for the bearing block, green wood for the bearing block, different type of cord, stick with the same cord. You get the idea. I received all sorts of ideas that many of them conflicted with one another. What nobody said was, you need a thicker spindle. What lots of people said was, you need a thinner spindle. Now, looking back at that video and the one from several months ago, the spindle was very thick. I know of nobody that exists that has a thumb the size of the thickness of what that spindle was. So what I've done is I've taken that spindle away, which as you can see is much shorter than it was in the last video. It's also much thinner than it was in the last video as well. Much more thumb thickness than my previous attempts. But it is the same spindle, it is the same piece of wood. The hearth board is the same hearth board. This notch here, that divot, that hole there, is what I was attempting to use the last time I recorded this video. You may remember I wasn't even able to get any dust forming, only smoke from the top of the spindle. This here that you can see numbered as number 3, I hope, the one that my finger is in, that is what I have just fashioned a few days ago. That is what I have married up and burnt in with this particular spindle. So I've come back out once again, third time lucky, I hope, with a thinner spindle, but essentially it is to a large degree the same bow drill kit. I've just fashioned a new hole in the half board and shaved down the thickness and the diameter of the spindle itself. As I say, third time lucky, let's see how I get on. Wish me luck folks, I'm going in. Crafty little glance at the camera just to make sure the record button is pressed, because the irony of me getting an ember now and not pressing record would be unbearable. Yes! I love it when a plan comes together. So as you saw there, lime on lime, I was able to bring about an ember which burned for several minutes. It's burnt itself out now. I'm looking down at the birch bark down on the floor there, but fantastic. Didn't want to blow it into flame. That wasn't the purpose of coming out today. I didn't want to waste resources unnecessarily. I hadn't been able to achieve an ember before using lime on lime, so one thing at a time. This is a lesson that fire by friction isn't easy, bow drill isn't easy, The fact that I managed to do it a few minutes ago, I'm sure if I tried in another few minutes time, might be unsuccessful, but you've got to keep chipping away at these things. If you keep doing the same thing, exactly the same, and it doesn't work, you need to switch something out, you need to change something, you need to modify one of the variables at a time to see what works. And as I say, today it was thinning that spindle down. So thank you to everybody in my previous video who suggested reducing the diameter of that spindle and thinning it down. It worked. Thank you. Thanks as always for watching the video. If you've enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you're give it a thumbs up. If you're not yet a subscriber, you know what to do in the bottom right hand corner of that screen by now. If you think there's someone in your network that would value from this, please feel free to share it with them. Thanks as always for watching, folks. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you very shortly. Cheers.